Hi, I'm Amy.
I'm Delia.
And I'm Wendell. And welcome to
Yes,
But
Why
podcast. Yeah.
Wait, did
real
everyone
shit
in this room have a DUI except for me?
No.
Oh.
Delia and I have never been caught by the law.
I'm the only one that's got a
We've
DUI.
done bad things, and we talked about it.
I was 16.
But
like
he
murder
is the only one that's gotten arrested.
No, they've
for
done a
stuff.
lot more, like, audacious. Well, she has done more, like, she's gotten away with it. She's a fucking, she might as well be a Duke boy.
Yeah. A Duke boy! Them Duke boys.
That's me. That's me. I'm a dude boy.
Making her way.
What were you saying?
The
What's
only
that?
way they know how. That's the name of it. But that's just a little bit more than the law will allow. I watched Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't even know the theme song. The only 70s cop show that I know the theme song of is Rockford Files.
Oh, with,
James
Maverick.
Garner.
Yeah, Maverick. The original Maverick.
James Garner for a long time was on my list until he died. Actually, was on my
Your
my
Iron Maiden
list of like 5 celebrities I get to do it with if they are ever like, hey, Amy, you want to do it? Like in Friends.
Oh!
Hey!
They basically created that concept. Knocked it out early.
You're making faces at me, Delia.
Do we have a new poop
story?
story? Do we have a new poop story?
What was your face about?
She was intently staring at me, so I looked back, and then she got weirded out when I looked back. And I was like,
I saw your face.
Am I saying something untoward, Delia?
that's what my face looks like.
That face that
Okay.
you just gave me was, you're my mom, and I came in late, and you, like, specifically told me not to come in late, and I think I'm gonna get away with it, and you're all like, oh, yeah? You think you're gonna take some shit from me? Because you're not.
Yeah. That was like
Wait,
a...
who's the mom?
You're the mom.
You're the mom.
Okay.
Yeah, that was...
No, you're the mom!
Opa! I don't know what's happening.
Me either. I don't know.
Yeah. Is it okay if I burp constantly throughout this episode?
Clearly.
That's what's gonna happen.
Can
That's
you
the number
edit
one
them?
thing people say about Malia. So.
Yeah. It's like, weird name, burps a lot. Has she said, like, Eric, the first time Eric ever met me was at that Eric Andre show?
That was our first date.
It was
Fun,
their
fun,
first
fun.
date, and
Yeah, fun.
I just happened to sit next to them, but I didn't know them yet, and I was burping like crazy the entire show.
It makes so much more sense with Eric Andre than
Yeah.
it does with Delia and Eric.
Yeah,
And that was a really tightly packed crowd, so I'm sure that was like...
it's weird because I was still a very new student, and True was like, "Hey, come in. I see you at the back of this line. Get on in the show and get a seat."
He did that with me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just sitting there.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, what are you doing? You want to go in? I was like, yeah. Come on. I was like, this is tight.
And then I sat next to you, and I was like, "That girl's cool. I've seen her around," and I didn't care about Eric.
Obviously not. Just try to burp him.
Oh, I just burp, man. I just burp a
No,
lot,
yeah.
and like
I know.
I'm not holding back.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold back. My burps
also,
are glorious.
Eric Andre got 100% naked.
He got.
so what's the
I saw
point?
his penis.
Yeah.
It's not a bad penis.
I
wouldn't kick it under.
I just appreciate that that's his shtick. You ever seen the show?
His dick shit.
I haven't seen the full episode. I've only seen that RNC thing that he did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where he's just
Would
like,
you have sex with my wife?
you want to have sex with my wife? The balls on that guy, amazing.
The dick and the balls
The
on
dick
that guy.
and the balls on that guy.
He's just really going for something specific.
Yeah.
I listened to him on the WTF podcast recently, and it was a very interesting conversation to listen to, honestly.
How so?
Because he's a thoughtful person.
Okay.
And, like,
He's very clever.
He's, trying out different things. And the way that, like, when we do improv and stuff, we're, like, kind of trying to push the boundaries of what we're dealing with or whatever. I feel like that's what he's doing with comedy. And whether it's, like, conscious or unconscious, like, he's an artist. He's a person who's doing this, like we're doing this. And he just goes out there and tries to do as much as he can. And it's a little wild and crazy, but I don't know. It's just kind of how it manifests for him.
Yeah.
Like, he references Holy Mountain, like a Jodorowsky movie, in one of his interviews.
And he's really smart.
And I'm just like, I saw Holy Mountain and just could, like, that's the most confusing shit I've ever seen in my entire life. Anybody, yeah, like, have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
No.
No.
I think there's also what, is it Santa Sangre? Is that another one?
Yeah. Jodorowsky was like a madman in the most like, I don't know, like.
Hey, I'm smart too, guys.
I was just thinking, like, wow, I'm so glad these are my co-hosts. They're so smart.
Yeah, I've totally heard of all that stuff. I know what you're talking about.
I feel like they're speaking another language. I love it. No, you're great.
But I don't know if that like does. I don't think that counts as just being smart.
That just means.
No, you're just aware of something that I don't know you that anything.
Well. No, yeah, I'm not. I have smart friends.
You are. Stop.
No, like, but I don't know. I've just never seen like a mainstream comedian. Well, like, mainstream to me, I guess. Like, he is in my
successful.
Mainstream. Yeah.
He's mainstream. Isn't his show on MTV or something?
No, it's on Adult Swim.
But
that's
equally
mainstream.
as intense.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like, a lot of people don't know him because, like, I actually met him at Fun Fun, and he, like, stopped and took a picture with me and, like, let me hold his ice cream, and it was awesome.
Yeah, that's why I like him, too.
Is that what you
I measure
for
success that way.
a hand job? He let me hold his ice cream?
Yeah. No,
okay.
he, like, it was funny
That's
because...
the old phrase.
That's a phraseology.
He, like, specifically just made me hold his ice cream if I was going to talk to him.
It was funny, though.
Yeah, and
I was
so
like,
proud
I
of it.
spoke
Nobody
to him
cared.
too. He was sweet, and that's why I actually just had a little like, hi, how you doing? What's going on? Have you enjoyed shows? Before I knew who he was.
I like your face.
And then he walked up because I was just in the back behind the stage, and he was just a person, and I didn't know who he was. So I was just like, hey, what's happening? You had a fun day today? He's like, yeah, I saw a sweet band. I'm like, that's so cool. What a great festival this is, right? It's a beautiful day. And he's like, yeah, it's been great. And he walks up on stage, and it turns out he's the guy that's like everyone's there to see. But I don't know. And so I'm just chatting with him, and so that's why now when people are like, oh no, he's super intense, I'm like, no, he's a nice guy.
No, yeah.
He's a regular nice guy, you know. So you know,
I think that's really great that you had no preconceived notions, so your interaction with him was completely genuine. And then it just reminds me of, do you guys like Doctor Who?
Yes!
I'm gonna be honest. I just watched Torchwood. I didn't watch Doctor Who.
Get out!
I just had to. I just had to say that after the two of them had their little Doctor Who orgasm.
Like Matt Smith hadn't watched any Doctor Who, and then they were hosting or holding auditions to replace David Tennant as the Doctor, and so Matt Smith's mom was aware of this and told him, like, yeah, you should go audition for that. I think you would be really great. He hadn't watched anything. He auditions and he lands the role, and then he was like the 10th Doctor.
Yeah, his Doctor's like the 11th.
Is it the 11th? I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I thought it was the 13th.
No, Peter Capaldi is...
He's the 13th.
Yeah, well, like, he was the 13th because David Tennant regenerated once without changing his identity. It was the 13th regeneration.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think that was really cool because he had nothing to...
I was just saying, it's common knowledge.
I'm just delighted by the way you spoke about the folklore of it, and I'm like, I've never been interested in it, but I watched Torchwood for a different reason, and then
Torchwood's much more grown up. It's a more intense show.
I've seen maybe like one
it's Captain Jack.
Captain
right?
Jack.
Yeah, Captain Jack.
Harkness.
Yeah, he's the best.
He
turns
great.
into a foot.
And then he goes off on another
boat.
adventure, and you just watch his own adventure, whatever it was. Cool. Anyway, you're delightful.
Yeah, just that because he had no idea how he was supposed to play this character. He got to go in and just create his own identity.
Yeah.
He wasn't comparing himself to anyone, and so that was really cool because. I couldn't pick a favorite Doctor because they're all so different.
David Tennant.
No,
I can't because
I like the guy before him.
Yes,
you like Eccleston?
I saw
Eccleston.
Yeah,
I like him.
He's great.
Yeah, no,
and I saw him in a bunch of other stuff before I watched his Doctor Who
absolutely
episode.
But Tennant is just so pretty.
He is real pretty.
He is very pretty.
I saw him.
I love a
Catherine
British
Tate
man
on Broadway in Much Ado About Nothing in London.
Oh my
fucking
god!
Tits. It was great. It was so good, and he's tall and pretty, and I would do things to his face.
Did you guys watch? He was in like a BBC like a detective show. It's not
Broadchurch.
Torchwood. Broadchurch.
Didn't see it.
Oh no, I didn't watch it.
It's on Netflix.
He was in the
really
American
good.
version
Yeah,
too.
sorry.
Yeah,
It's
he
really
was.
good.
And he's in Jessica Jones.
Yeah, he is.
And
He looks
the thing
great in
is he
purple
sounds he does his Welsh accent in Jessica Jones,
yeah.
and he sounds just like the Doctor, and that is very emotionally confusing for me because like he is such a bad dude in Jessica.
He's got to be
Jones.
good. His voice is good.
Yeah, I know.
And
Like
he's
he
doing
could
all
have just
the bad stuff.
he could
I
have
don't
picked any
understand.
other accent, just changed it a little bit, but he just totally sounds like the 10th Doctor.
I don't think he could have picked anything. Someone 100% told him that's what he had to do.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because he's
So they
Scottish.
weren't like, so you're Welsh
Yeah.
here.
His
they were
Scottish
like,
accent, though.
you know
Yeah,
what?
yeah, his
we
Scottish
love the
accent.
Doctors.
me.
You're gonna do like that, but
Like-
it's a little different.
No.
I hate that like Peter Capaldi.
I
They're
haven't
like
actually seen any computer.
I haven't seen
I haven't seen
either
any
of those.
episodes. Yeah.
What haven't you seen?
why?
Peter Capaldi episodes.
because
the
I
new
don't
ones.
like.
I-
My
I-
heart is broken, and I'm still.
Oh yeah, no,
dealing with
dude, that
trauma.
Christmas
Yeah,
episode.
It's true. It's true.
That Christmas episode, I cried.
I couldn't. No,
But it was triumphant. They gave him a good triumphant.
Sure, but
I'm not ready. I'm just
Peter
not
Capaldi-
ready.
no, and I like mainline episodes. So like once I start, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go through till there's nothing left.
Just gonna preface this.
Yeah.
When you guys do get to that point, hang on. Because, like, they tried to make a real hard turn from
Okay.
Matt Smith's, like, lovable kind of cat in the hat sort of fun
Yeah.
ragamuffin. And he's very, like, cold and sterile and separated for, like, the first few episodes.
Okay.
And they make this, like, honestly, that whole first season, they make a point to make him dark and distant.
Okay.
Second season, they do something, they round it off. They
Okay.
kind of listen to everybody, and they make him a lot more likable and approachable, and like
That's
relatable.
interesting because like the Christopher Eccleston one was so like just fresh off of all this bullshit. And
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
just I have so many feelings and so much angst, and I
Feel things.
Yeah.
yeah. And then for David Tennant's character, that's when he starts to come
Dave,
around.
yeah. Well, Dave Tennant, honestly, like after watching it over and over again, comes off to me almost sociopathic at some points. He gets really full of himself. At
He
one
absolutely
point,
does. But the
at one-
Doctor is full of himself.
It takes
Yeah.
a woman
Yeah.
committing suicide to kind of like take him down off this high horse that he had.
But
hit,
okay, he's
about
like
changing
1,000
time.
years old
Yeah.
at that point. Like
Yeah.
something like that is what it would take to drive
Yeah.
a Doctor.
I-
Like it's not like, oh, I stepped on a flower, I'm feeling emotions. No, it's like he's gonna.
That's like
yeah.
Colin Baker, you know, like Colin Baker like strangling his companion in that one
Yeah.
episode. It's like you get like it's real easy to be scared of the Doctor, and I think a good Doctor does a good job of making sure that we always trust the Doctor.
Sure.
And I know that there's you know that could get boring from a writing perspective, and also just like viewing it. So there's got to be some kind of emotional like flaw or something to kind of
yeah.
like.
You guys ever watch the 70s episodes? The ones with that one guy with a
Tom
really
Baker.
long scarf?
Not yet.
Yeah, Douglas Adams was the writer for those episodes, a majority
Are
of
you
them.
kidding me?
No, and that's the reason. That's when Doctor Who really became like funny as well.
Oh, that's great.
It's really
I had
Hitchhiker's-y.
no idea.
Yeah, that's
So-
actually the only. That's how I
Yeah,
found
Hitchhiker's Guide,
Doctor
yeah.
Who. Is I read the Hitchhiker's Guide,
The
and then
book that you got chocolate
me
all
to it.
over,
I have,
Delia.
I
Remember that time you got chocolate all over my one copy of Hitchhikers that I've had for like 10 years?
Oh, was it the
And
single?
and you posted on Facebook about how you got chocolate all over my book.
Were you bragging?
Wendell, how does improv make you feel?
I
It makes
love
me-
Delia. I love
It makes me feel like being responsible for my actions, Delia.
Interesting. It makes me want to
Answer
run
the
away
question.
from mine.
I love you, and I don't care. And that book is super old, and I need a new one.
And there
I
is
need a new
chocolate
one.
all over
I know.
it.
I
It's
love
just
to give you shit because I knew you
stain.
cared. I knew you
It's okay,
cared.
we
It's
care,
okay.
Delia, we
It's
care.
Why are
okay.
you both
It's
touching
okay.
care. I know.
me?
I
Yeah,
don't think I
touching
ever
your
have.
hands.
I don't think I ever have.
So much.
I was like, I think I've given Delia 2 hugs in the entire time that we've.
Oh yeah,
remember
our hug.
friends.
If we've hugged, it's been one of these side things.
Well, I remember one of them was during Practical Not Pretty because I was freaking out.
I wanted to be there so bad.
And then you hugged me and you were like, "You're gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine." It's like, you're right. Okay. I still was freaking out, but it helped a lot.
It was a good show.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel like we hug a lot. Am I wrong? Am I
know.
assuming things? I feel like
She immediately tries to forget every hug.
Wait,
I was
maybe
just gonna say, I think I block them all out.
I
Yeah.
hug you a lot, and I think I provide sneak attacks.
There's
on
been
my
some
hugs.
there's been some heightening of bonding in the neighborhood though recently. So there's that. There's been a
Well,
bit
we
more
all had that sex orgy.
snuggling. Gross.
Right.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Do you really have to add sex to the beginning of it?
Yes.
Why?
Okay, because it could be like a blood orgy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I
Don't
gotta
wanna
specify.
confuse
There
that.
was blood